Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, make sure to subscribe, leave a thumbs up, and turn on notifications. You can also follow me on Twitter at SuperIDC. Link is in the description, as well as a link to my merch. You can get 15% off right now with code HIVE, so check out my merch on my store online. Worldwide shipping is available. So, I want to talk about an article from Cinema Blend. Sean O'Connell, you're probably familiar with him. He has a book coming out in March, Release the Snyder Cut. Of course, it's a very special book to chronicle the journey of getting the Release the Snyder Cut, released. Getting the Snyder Cut released, the journey of the fandom and Zack Snyder and all of that. So his book comes out in March, just like the movie does, but he has shared an excerpt, a quote from the book, a quote by Zack Snyder. The article is the real story behind why Zack Snyder left Justice League in 2017. Of course, if you're familiar with all of this situation, we know that Zack had to leave due to a terrible family tragedy. He lost his daughter. So, of course, he had to leave. That was a very horrible thing to happen for his family and himself. But the quote goes into deeper more details behind how Zack felt at the time. And I appreciate that in the article, Sean O'Connell mentions that this is not, he kind of wants casual fans out there to know this is not, what we got in 2017 in theaters was not the Justice League movie that Zack really wanted to, not that he intended to show or make. So the cut that's coming to HBO Max in the book reveals how it happened, why we're getting a completely different Justice League movie. And, this 3-year effort spent by Snyder's most dedicated fans to finally get the studio to release this movie. And now, of course, we're getting it on HBO Max. But let's read the quote really quickly and then, kind of talk more about what the article mentions. This is a quote from Zack. "I just was kind of done with it. I was in this place of knowing my family needs me more than this BS, and I just need to honor them and do the best I can to heal the world. That world. I had no energy to fight the studio, fight for the movie, literally zero energy for that. I really think that's the main thing. I think there's a different world where I stayed and kind of tried, and I'm sure I could have, because every movie is a fight, right? I was used to that, but I just did not have the energy. There was no fight in me. I had been beaten by what was going on in my life, and I just didn't want to. I didn't care to. That was kind of where I was." So that's a very emotional quote from Zack. Obviously, he and his family, experienced the worst thing a parent could experience. And so it's understandable that he wouldn't have his mind, his heart, his world, like he said, would just be in a completely different space than, even though he cares about this movie and he cares about this universe that he started, obviously there's going to be things that are more important than that and how you feel. And, so just the fact of, having to also deal with the pushback from the studio constantly, which he already had to, like he said, every movie is a fight. Obviously, these kind of things happen with movies all the time, pushback and, going back and forth with executives, as the article mentions. Yes, it happens in movie productions all the time, but this was just another level. Like the article mentions, the incessant fights over Justice League and likely over Snyder's total vision for the DCEU had totally drained Snyder of his ability to keep scrapping. They wore him down. All he could do was walk away. He had struggles with Man of Steel, BVS, so, like it says, incessant fights over his total, not just for Justice League, but his total vision for what he was going for with this whole universe. And so, it goes on to say, what's special about Zack Snyder and the Release the Snyder Cut movement is that he walked away from Justice League but didn't allow himself to drift too far. His fan base took up the cause and dedicated their efforts to restore Snyder's vision, and he chimed in whenever he could to fuel their collective fire, keep the movement focused on the ultimate prize, Zack Snyder's Justice League, And of course, we finally got the announcement for that in May of last year. So it is important that this is being shared. So I appreciate Sean O'Connell for sharing this excerpt from his book. It comes out March 1st. You can pre-order it on Amazon, I believe. So it's just gives us a little bit more insight into how Zack was feeling at the time and just everything that was going on. And unfortunately, you know, there are people on the internet and on Twitter who are supposedly professionals in the field of journalism and, you know, covering filmmaking and all of this stuff that's been going on. Doesn't matter how much experience people have or how long they've been in a business, that doesn't mean that they know how to respond properly to certain things that are published online. Case in point, a member of the Collider team, who I have said before, I don't appreciate really when a Collider tries to post an article or anything about the Snyder Cut, because they were never supportive of it. They were the ones, you know, a lot of the time saying it doesn't exist and Zack needs to get off Vero, he needs to get off Twitter, he needs to stop sharing stuff. Obviously, we know that that was not true. Those of us who supported Snyder Cut all of this time and Zack and his movies. But Stephen Weintraub, I don't even know how to say his last name, but I'm sure you're familiar with him from Collider. He's a familiar face from Collider. He responded to another trade that shared Cinema Blend's article, but he responded with a GIF, a laughing GIF. The playlist shared Cinema Blend's article. Zack Snyder left Justice League in 2017 because he had no energy to fight WB over the film. That's the tweet. And then they shared the article. Why would you reply with something that's laughing at that? Whether or not you even read the article, okay, he claims that he's been in the business for 15 years and, you know, he knows what he's talking about, blah, blah, blah. That has nothing to do with his response to this at all. It's completely inappropriate and insensitive. Just the fact that everyone that knows about this situation knows why Zack had to leave. His daughter committed suicide. There's absolutely no explaining why you would respond with that, knowing why he left. Of course, he posted a response. My least favorite people on Twitter are the Snyder Bros who think they know everything about the making of Justice League. Let me be clear, I am looking forward to seeing the new 4-hour cut of Justice League. I'm sure it will be a better movie. But a lot of stuff was going on when that movie was being filmed and edited that still hasn't come out. One day maybe it will, but I've been doing this job 15 years and you're coming at me like I just joined the internet and I don't know what I'm talking about. That doesn't have anything to do with, you know, even if someone didn't know all of the ins and outs or a lot of what happened with Justice League and Joss Whedon coming in and everything, even if you don't know all that, even if all you know is, okay, a director had to leave a movie because he lost a child. Just knowing that one thing about why he had to leave, the biggest thing about it, there's still no explaining why you would respond to an article about his quote, about what he said, about how he felt, if you know what happened to his daughter. There's no, I don't know, I don't care how he tries to explain, I don't care how he tries to respond or say he's been on doing this job 15 years. That's completely unprofessional, inappropriate, insensitive, and wrong. Who cares if you're looking forward to watching it? Why would you respond that way to anything that has to do with him losing a child? I don't understand it. And then try to act like people are coming at you. Well, yeah, because it's wrong. That's why people are coming at you. Doesn't matter how much experience you have in your line of work. It's just completely, no. But back to positivity around Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm sorry, I had to point that out. It's just because people need to put that kind of stuff on blast. And no. Just no. There are more shirts being sold from the official DC shop online, but the last one, or the first ones we got were of Yuxis, or Darkseid actually. He's not even Yuxis on the shirts, he's Darkseid, full-blown Darkseid. Now there are some with Steppenwolf. Similar to the Darkseid ones, there are some available with Steppenwolf and the League, and then also ones with just Steppenwolf and the mother boxes, his axe. Of course it is, you know, Zack's design of Steppenwolf, version of Steppenwolf that we'll be getting in the movie. And similar colors are available, grayish and bluish coloring, similar to the Darkseid ones. So, you know, share those on Twitter and social media. Make sure people know that this is part of marketing for Zack Snyder's Justice League. And so we're coming up on the end of the month now. Hopefully we will know something very, very soon about a release date for the trailer. And then we should be getting the release date for the movie when that happens. So just hang in there. I know we're getting impatient. I know we're excited. At least we know it's coming in March and we're just around the corner from the release. And so hang in there, okay? And like Ray Fisher said, we got to promote the heck out of it because no one's going to hype it up for us. No one else is going to do it, so we got to take that on, okay? We were able to make this a reality with Zack, so hype it up. You know, don't let people like Steven from Collider just ruin things for, you know, for any of this. So hang in there, keep promoting it, you know, do what we've been doing, show Zack and the rest of them how much we care about this, and yeah, just keep it up, okay, Snyder family? Thanks. Sorry I went on a rant today, but that was pretty important, and you know, gotta let people, that's not acceptable by any means, so, you know, had to bring that up. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for all the support on the channel. I appreciate it. Again, links in the description for my merch and Twitter profile and the Autumn Snyder AFSP fund. Very important. So thank you guys so, so much, and stay safe out there. Grab some awesome merch. Steppenwolf, Darkseid. Oh, also the Zack Snyder's Justice League stuff is available again on Ink to the People. So it'll be available for this week again, you know, leading up to the release of the movie. I think there's like the rest of this week left or something. I don't remember. It has a countdown if you go and check it out on Ink to the People. So get some if you haven't been able to, and we'll see you guys next time, all right?